Witcher 3. This game is also believed to be one of the best games of the last decade, and some even consider it the best game ever made. It is an open world RPG game and is also one of the best RPG games so far. And personally, it is also one of my favorite games till now. And if you haven't played it yet, then I will definitely recommend you to play it. In this video, I'm gonna explain some things if you are going to play Witcher 3 for the first time. That what are the things you need to keep in mind while playing the game, and what are the things you have to do in the game, because Witcher 3 is not just any other video game which you have played till now, which is why it is not recommended to someone who wants to make a debut in gaming. So let's begin now. Witcher 3 is not a typical open world game where you have to run for the main quest without worrying about the side missions. Because if you won't do side missions, then you will face really huge troubles in main quests. The enemies will be tough and will make you wanna break your controller. So one thing is clear, that don't run behind main quests in haste. Now as soon as you will open the game, then you will see a comical cinematic which is basically providing some insights on the state of Witcher 3's world. So if you want to watch it, then you can, otherwise you can skip it if you want, because you don't really need it for understanding the plot. Okay, so next you will click on the new game and then you will see 4 difficulty levels, which are just the story and sword, blood and broken bones, and death march. If we are to simplify these, then they are easy, normal, hard and very hard. Now if you have experience with video games and you are playing Witcher 3 for the first time, then I will recommend to select the story and the sword difficulty. Because like I have said, that Witcher 3 is very different from a normal open world game. So it can even give experienced gamers a hard time. So selecting the normal difficulty is a good to go way. Yeah, if it is your second or third playthrough, then you may select Blood and Broken Bones or Death March. But select normal on your first playthrough because it is generally recommended in most cases. Now if you are a novice, I mean if you are new to the gaming club and you are making your debut with Witcher 3, because since Witcher 3 is a respected game in the community, then it is possible that a newcomer may start their gaming journey with this game. So in that case, if you are one of them, then you should choose just the story, because Witcher 3 will literally make you hate yourself and your life if you choose higher difficulty levels, despite being known that it is your very first game of your life, because of its toughness and challenging enemies. So don't in the slightest pick Blood and Broken Bones or Death March if Witcher 3 is your first game. And please keep the tutorials on, because they tell us about the gameplay and combat mechanics. Because I have seen a lot of people who skip tutorials by saying stuff like, hey man, I don't need them, I have already finished a lot of games in life. So you should avoid this attitude at all costs, because you will miss a lot of important stuff if you skip the tutorials in Witcher 3. If you don't, then you will start to blame the game for your own stupidity. And Geralt of Rivia, Witcher 3's main character, says a very good quote regarding this in the very first sequence. Even professional masters require basics, which I personally really loved, because not just Witcher 3, you should not skip tutorials in any game, because it is simply not wise to underestimate any game. Doesn't matter what genre it belongs to, you would never know what it has got stored for you, so never skip tutorials. The next thing you have to keep in mind is to not skip side quests. Some may think that man, they have got no purpose, they are just a waste of time. But this is not true at all. While it's true that some side quests in this game are completely opposite to what Witchers are actually known for, but most of the quests do carry a good lore and can give you a lot of information about the state of Witcher 3's world. Some are even directly connected with the main plot, and they affect the consequences of certain events in the game. Even though this game doesn't have an honor system like RDR2, but still your decision in side quests affect Geralt's reputation in front of other people and his friends. If you want people to treat him nicely, then you can help people by completing side quests with good decisions. And they also help you in getting more gameplay experience. It is going to benefit your tracking skills, and more importantly, it is going to improve your combat and fighting skills. You will be able to defeat the difficult bosses of main story without much problems. Another thing which you have to do is to get better gear for Geralt, like armor and swords. For buying better equipments, you need money, which is called crowns in this game. In order to make money, you'll have to do Witcher contracts, about which we will discuss afterwards. Another way by which you can make money is by selling your old gear. For example, suppose you have purchased a new sword, then after that, you can sell the one which you were using previously. Same with the armor. If you are buying a new armor, then sell the old one to an armorer. And yeah, this thing should also be considered, that swords should be sold to blacksmiths and armors should be sold to armorers. Because a blacksmith offers a better price for a sword than an armorer, and vice versa. Now let's talk about Witcher contracts, which are probably the only way to make money at a huge scale in Witcher 3. You will find an icon on the map which will look like this. These notice boards will have information about the contracts which you will have to complete. The contracts are about killing monsters and sometimes humans too. Each monster will be a separate boss fight, which can give you a lot of experience about the combat and the gameplay mechanics. But do remember to do contracts which are in the range of your character's level. You can think of it like this. If the quest is showing a skull icon, then avoid doing it at all costs, because you are super under leveled for that. If it is showing yellow color, then it is a little above your level, but you can do it if you try hard enough. And if it is showing white color or no color at all, then you are totally ready to do it. Just be sure to make preparations before the boss fight and make sure not to underestimate the boss. Okay, so here we have discussed about the Witcher contracts, and also make sure to participate in horse races, which will give you better gear for your horse, like saddles and trophies, which will increase your horse's overall stamina regeneration rate and will give it more capacity to store more items. Trophies will help in decreasing horse's rate of fear and will allow you to run away from enemies who you have came across but are not yet ready to fight with. Next, if you will move further in the game, then you will unlock the Hearts of Stone and the Blood and Wine DLC. But I personally will recommend to not start them before finishing the main story, because they have got some really tough enemies, bosses and sequences. And not only this, it has also got a lot of choices in them which can directly affect their endings. So which is why I recommend to focus on the main game and side quests before jumping onto the DLCs. Because main game will give you a better understanding about decision making skills, plot, characters and gameplay mechanics. Okay, so if you will progress further in the story, then the game will give you two quests which you can complete. One will be the Pyres of Novigrad and the other one will be Skellige quest. In that, you have to do the Pyres of Novigrad first, because Novigrad is a very big city with tons of stuff to do. Side quests, contracts, etc. The entire city is full of secrets and even a lot of insights about Witcher 3's lore and world. Novigrad contains tons of quests and side quests which you should definitely do before you head to Skellige. Only head to Skellige once you have nothing to do in Novigrad, except the first quest of Heart of Stones, and after you are done with Novigrad, then you are good to go to Skellige. And from here, I am gonna leave you on your own. You may hate me for this, but tell me yourself. If I tell you everything that what to do and what not to do, then you will miss the feel and essence of this game. Plus, there are some things which you should figure out on your own. Trust me, you are going to be really proud of yourself after you have finished this game with the help of your own efforts. Make me proud too, by the way, as your guider about Witcher 3. I would love to see how my students performed. Anyways, I hope this little guide was helpful to you all. Do tell me if you are playing Witcher 3 or not, and do you plan to get it? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care and bye bye.